Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening. First of all, I want to thank each and everyone from the bottom of my heart for giving me an opportunity to demonstrate the capabilities of the training to the core. When we started the training in the month of July, third week, we thought that we would be finishing up the course in 3.5 to 4 months. Technically, we commit 3.5, 4 months. It takes 15 plus or minus, but this batch, it took almost 1.5 month extra. It took 5.5 months. But again, no regrets. So we never completed the course with the intent just to complete. We always want to complete the course to make sure we cover to the core, and at the same time I want to make sure you are covered. Okay, so initially we thought of doing everything on the top of one project, but we never intended to do on the top of two projects. Majority of you guys mentioned that we are not getting calls in the month of November and December. So keeping that 1.5 month buffer in mind, so we took an approach to implement entire stack on the top of two projects. Okay, so I want to start. Okay, what all we learned. Okay, let's try to have a quick recap. Okay, what we learned so far. What did we learn? What we learned so far? What we learned so far? What we learned in this training? Okay, so first we learned Red Hat Linux. Okay, Red Hat 9 is the latest. So I learned Linux on Red Hat 9. Okay, then we implemented project. Okay, we learned some basics. We learned AWS basics like compute, authentication, and then we understood how a monolithic project works. With the learning that we made, implemented monolithic project. Okay, that has front end, back end, and a database. It's a MySQL database. So we implemented the project, and we identified that every day coming to the training and doing this thing manually is not a great idea, because we want to do this using some automation. So as bash scripting is native to Linux, okay, automated configuration management using bash scripting. Okay, we learned bash scripting, and then we implemented the bash scripting. Okay, so then we identified, okay, if we go through bash scripting, in case in future, if you get any Ubuntu based machines or CentOS based machines, we cannot apply this bash scripting, because from flavor to flavor, things would change, right? So what we did, 1 second. Okay, so then we learned Ansible. Okay, playbooks, YAML. Okay, and then using Ansible, we wrote more than 20 playbooks. Okay, for expense, RoboShop, and tools. Okay, next and then once it's completed, what we did, we understood, we learned what is CI, CD. Okay, implemented CI, CD for expense app. Okay, and then implemented CD for expense app using GoCD. Okay, as we haven't learned this at, we did this. Okay, and then learned monitoring. Okay, Prometheus, Grafana, implemented observability platform for expense app. Okay, using 4 golden rules of SRE. So we also learned that logs are very, very important. Your front-end logs, back-end logs, database logs. So we implemented, understood, learned what is log aggregation. Okay, you might think, hey Manoj, we already know all this. Why are we thinking? We should know what we learned. Okay, because in interviews, if you want to speak something, you should know. Okay, you need to have a framework in your head. Okay, so pay attention, pay highest possible attention. Okay, and then we implemented everything, log aggregation, elk stack. Okay, on the top of a very big machine on a VM. Keep this in mind. Then what we did, we learned Kubernetes. Majority of the concepts in Kubernetes are covered. Okay, we learned Docker container, Docker and containers, containerized expense app. Okay, published our images to both public and private container repositories. Okay, then we understood. Okay, keeping the DevSecOps strategy in mind, we hosted our secrets. What? Okay, and all our pipelines are going through implemented no password based approach. Implemented no password based approach. Okay, learned Kubernetes to the core. Implemented Kubernetes on EKS. Deployed containerized applications on EKS. Okay, implemented CI/CD again on EKS. Okay, provisioned Argo CD to enable continuous reconnaissance. Reconciliation. Okay, these are the things that we learned, right, in the expense app. And after that, okay, we also implemented, okay, observability. Okay, next, to enable the connectivity to the external network, we worked on implementing Argo CD. Okay, not Argo CD, Nginx Ingress Controller. And we also did something called as implemented external DNS on EKS. Okay, the reason why, in case if you create any ingress resource with any DNS records, automatically your EKS provisions DNS records on the top of Route 53. Okay, we delivered the course keeping the cloud into consideration. Okay, and then implemented observability. EKS as a part of the bootstrap. Okay, learned networking, implemented VPN or Bastion based connectivity. None of our machines have public IP. Okay, 100% of the communication is over internet, is over private IP. Okay, clear. And once it is done using JUnit, okay, we did performance testing of almost 19,000 requests with an error rate of less than 0.001. That means less than 1% of the errors. Okay, we did benchmarking, implemented benchmarking. And based on that, limits requests, HPA on K8 deployments were implemented. Okay. And we also implemented FluentD to extract the logs so on EKS and pump them to OpenSearch. Okay. OpenSearch is a managed service on AWS. This is also something we have implemented. So do you think, did we miss anything so far? Anyone? Did we miss anything? Guys, anything? Did we miss anything so far? So these are the things that we have learned and implemented. Okay. And if you look at this, not just this, we implemented monolithic project. We also implemented a microservices based project with 4 DBs and 10 microservices total. Okay. Bash scripting is done both for 2 projects, both for monolithic, okay, and microservices. Done. So we did this. That means the entire training, we did it for a second. Okay, even the playbooks, both. This one, both. Learned CI/CD and implemented on the top of both monolithic and microservices. Implemented CI both for applications. Okay, so these are the things we have done. Even for this 2 times, even for this 2 times, even for this 2 times, even for this 2 times. Log aggregation we done by using Elasticsearch and OpenSearch. Okay. 1 second, I got a message. Okay, so these are the things that we have learned. So I just want to understand before I proceed with the resume preparation, and because what we learned, based on that, I want to build our resume. I also had the resume in place, readily available. I'll just tune it. Okay, but before that, I need your inputs. So I just want to take a minute of time to understand. Hey, Srilata, hi. How is the training? What do you think? Where we stand with the committed training versus what we have delivered? Can you please confirm, am I audible? Can someone confirm me, am I audible? Check.
Yes, Manoj, audible.
Perfect. So I just want to ask, how was the training, Rachit?
Yes, good quality of training and more than expected actually.
Thank you. What do you think? So is our training match your expectations? Do you think that we have done 100% close to what is being there in the industry?
Yes, actually, if we practice, we learn all the things. Definitely, we will get a good job actually.
Sorry, come again.
If we practice all the things you teaches, definitely we will get a good job actually.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Maybe your effort, I think 100%, but maybe students' efforts maybe less.
Yeah. Again, we cannot comment on it. Everyone performs their own way. A lot of people does training and perform in a stealth way. You never know unless until they say, hey, I got a job.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So yeah, Shailaja, how was the training? What do you think? Did we reach our expectations or the commitments that we made? Are we close to our commitments?
Yes, Manoj. Actually, yeah, you covered everything, whatever you have committed. Yeah, whatever Ajit said, that is true. 100%. we also have to do the same practice 100%.
Yeah.
Then only we can clear
But
the
with
interviews.
respect to the
Otherwise,
quality and the strategy that we have taken, what do you think? Where are we with that?
quality is up to 200%, I can say, because even if I miss the training one day, it's very good actually. We covered everything, whatever is needed.
Thank you. Shilata, what do you think? How was the training? What are your expectations? Are we covered? Arun, can you confirm me? How was the training? Did we reach your expectations? What are your thoughts? It's been almost 5 months. I was continuous speaking. I just want to hear back from you. If you're speaking, we cannot hear you, Rachit.
Hi, Manoj.
We can hear you now.
Hi, Manoj.
I can hear you. Go for
Manoj,
it.
are you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Manoj,
you.
thanks. Yeah, thank you very much, Manoj. But I didn't expect you put a lot of effort, more than the student. Actually, so we missed a lot of lessons. But I take a time, then I'll reach out soon. So thank you very much, Manoj.
Yes. And if you look at this, we did everything on the top of 2 projects. If you practice, it's just like you're working on 2 companies, 2 projects. Okay. So typically projects will be legacy based projects and brand new projects. So we made sure you are on the top of both. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Griha, yes, you are always welcome, Arun. Now people from my 30th batch and 35 batch still reach me for any sort of questions. Thank you very much. Mahendra.
Yes, sir.
How's the training? What do you think? What do you want to
Yeah,
share a
everything
couple of
was
points?
awesome and great, sir. I made a lot of the really the focus on every uh, travel details. And it's got a lot of experience and it's cool too, sir.
Perfect. So most of the guys who are in the training are experienced. Okay, so it's very good to hear that. Okay, thank you very much. These are the things we learned, and 100% of the effort was done by using Terraform. So industry is leading towards Terraform. There are more than 10,000 cloud providers. You might think there are just 3 to 4 clouds, right? There are service providers who are on cloud. So including PaaS, SaaS providers, there are almost Terraform is supported by 10,000 plus providers. So we used Helm charts. So I forgot this. Okay, we built Helm charts. Implemented Helm charts, right? Implemented Helm charts. Okay. Implemented Helm charts. Implemented, okay, containerized EKS to Vault integration, provisioned init containers, controlled the Helm flow using Helm hooks. Okay. 100% of the effort was on a multi-environment based approach. Okay. So we need to understand, okay, it's not just, okay. See, always keep in mind, it's not just, okay, again, I repeat, it's not just what you know. Okay, it's all about how you present in the interview. That's what matters. Okay, so these are the very most common questions that comes up in the interview. Okay, so let me try to say this. Okay, so this is a very common question. Okay, interview. Okay, so interview is not just about telling what you know. Okay, interview is all about, 1 second, let me create something. All right, can you see my screen? So it's all about interview, how you present. If you practice my course, okay, it's an open challenge. Interview. If you practice the content that was shared, that was delivered, you are capable enough to demonstrate five to 8 years experience. Okay, because we implemented we are familiar with both monolithic and microservices based project. Okay, and the tech stack that is involved in this project is AngularJS for front end. Okay, basic HTML5. And in the backend technologies, our project is based on Python, Java based, Go based, and what is the other one? Node.js. Okay, and our project has 4 sort of databases. RabbitMQ, which is a queue manager, typically in organizations. Okay, bigger companies use Kafka, which handles things at scale. Next is SQL workloads, MySQL Server. Okay, and next we also implemented MongoDB. Okay, so this can be on the top of your servers, or if you are on AWS, you can also consume this service as a document DB. Or if you want to go with outsiders, Atlas also offers MongoDB as a service. Next, we also worked on what is the other database? RabbitMQ, MySQL, MongoDB, and what is the other database? Redis, which is a caching solution. If you want to consume the service on AWS, Elastic Cache. Or if you're on Google Cloud, you can also consume memory store. So, and also when you're talking about CI/CD, okay, so we achieved CI by using GitHub Actions, okay, which is one of the most happening thing in the industry, okay, because you don't have to maintain the underlying framework, and we achieved it 100% of the code-based pipelines. Okay, again in GitHub we call them as not workflows. Okay, GitHub Actions is a tool. Whatever you write is called as a workflow. Okay, next we implemented CD for server-based approach using GoCD, and for EKS based we use Argo CD. Okay, so we did this 2 times. And second, okay, secret management. Okay, so you can also use AWS Secret Manager, but if you use AWS Secret Manager, if companies are on cross cloud, like AWS Cloud and Google Cloud, or Google Cloud and Azure Cloud, if you just use AWS Secret Manager, it will be a little complicated. Okay, but in our case, we have used HashiCorp Vault, which is the most famous and trusted solution to host solutions, to host our, okay, both config maps, configurations, and secrets. Next, what's next? Observability. Okay, so we implemented error rate. Next, saturation of the product. Okay, next, what is the traffic? Error rate. Okay, so we implemented the whole setup on the top of Prometheus, Grafana. Okay, Prometheus, Grafana, and log aggregation by using Elk, Okay, and we also learned OpenSearch. OpenSearch is a managed service which offers different sort of log aggregation tools. We used OpenSearch just to save the logs. Okay, and then we also use FileBeat. FileBeat is used, and not BeastBeat, and FluentBeat. So FileBeat is a product from Elastic, so it only works for the Elastic products. FluentBit is an open source product which can be used with any sort of log aggregation tools like Splunk. Okay, it's quite lightweight and heavily used. Okay, next, what else we did? Okay, implemented automation. Okay, automation. So before that, we don't know automation, but we also learned automation. Automation, what all we did? We did bash scripting. Okay, implemented dry. Okay, 100% of the training is keeping the dry approach. Okay, do not repeat yourself. And implemented Ansible playbook. Again, we followed roles, okay, roles and dry based approach. Okay, and after this, we achieved CI/CD, continuous integration, using GitHub Actions, and wrote multiple workflows. Okay. Nine. What tools did we integrate? Integrations. What all integrations did we make? Integrations that we made as a part of the CI/CD. Okay. So we are using GitHub Actions, and then our code is on the top of GitHub. The first thing is static code analysis, which is also called as a SAST, and this was achieved by using SonarQube. Okay, so we learned what is what is a quality gate, what is a quality profile. Okay, how you can break if something is not good. Okay, and then code compilation based on the tool. And then if it is good, we were also doing something called as, okay, SEA, software code and not software, software composition analysis. Okay, we did checkmarks. Checkmarks is a very extensively widely used tool. So the software composition analysis don't just look into the code, it also look into the dependencies and the dependencies, and if those dependencies are having any licensing issues or not, and if you are supposed to use licensing, everything it's going to define you the composition analysis. Okay, and after this checkmark scan, okay, we are generating artifacts. Again, lint checks. I forgot that. Lint checks, we are generating artifacts, publishing them to ECR. Okay, and we also learned Docker Hub as well. Okay, and once it is done, okay, either containerized apps, okay, so will be deployed EKS by using GoCD. Argo CD. Okay, Argo CD is a package on the top of the EKS. Okay, and then learned and implemented a network of our own, like a VPN. 100% of our infra is not accessible from the internet. Okay, so what all we did? Learned networking, implement provisioned VPC, and enabled connectivity to our Bastion. Okay, then Terraform. One 100% of the effort was achieved by using Terraform. Okay, so in the Terraform, we have used Vault, AWS, Helm, EKS, Kubernetes providers. Okay, these are the providers that we have used. Okay, not just AWS providers. We use these many providers in Terraform. Okay, integrated HashiCorp Vault with our Terraform. Okay, 100% of the Terraform code is out of secrets. He's out of secrets. Okay, so these are the things that we learned. And again, on the Kubernetes, this is very, very widely needed. Okay, we learned pods, deployments, replica sets, full sets, daemon sets, okay, config maps, secrets, roles, RBAC, role-based access control, and network policies. Okay, plugins on EKS. Okay, Calico. The networking option offered on the top of AWS is AWS CNI. It's called as a VPC CNI. Implemented metric server. Okay. Then node auto scaling is also something we have implemented. Okay, and then jobs in Kubernetes. Jobs in Kubernetes. Then schema, injection, init contain. Okay, and init containers. Okay. Limits and requests. Implemented health checks. And probes. Okay, it's also called as the same health checks by using probes. Okay, pods, deployment, secrets, roles. Okay, these are the things that we learned on the top of this. Okay, am I missing anything? All right, so we learned Kubernetes and we implemented both for Expense app and RoboShop app. Okay, whatever we learned, everything with a single click of a button. With a single click of a button, we have achieved everything. Okay, so one of the most commonly asked question is, okay, first let's talk about resume. Okay, let's build our own resume. Okay, see, your resumes should speak. Okay, resume is not just like it should look fancy. Okay, your resume should be ATS qualified. Resume should be ATS qualified. ATS qualified. Then only you'll get calls from the interviewers. Okay, or from the companies. Second thing, your resume should have activities that were done by you or you're confident, or stack that you are 100% aware. Okay, when you don't know something, don't say I don't know. Instead, I haven't got an opportunity to work with. For example, if someone is trying to ask you Splunk is also log aggregation. Your answer should be I don't know. Your answer should be I got an opportunity to work on ELK stack. I'm pretty sure ELK stack and Splunk works the same way. So you need to talk more on the ELK stack rather than just saying I don't know. It gives a negative impression. Instead, you need to mention I haven't got an opportunity to work on Splunk so far, but I do get an opportunity to work on a similar tool. I implemented ELK stack and I also migrated the stack from ELK stack to OpenSearch. And I also got opportunity to work on implementing beats and fluentity on the top of both containerized applications or on the server-based applications. This is how you need to frame your answers. Okay, your resume is something that should speak more. And for your resume to be qualified, okay, you need to spend more time. Let's talk. Okay, so first, it's always like this. Okay, just mention this way. All right, so DevSecOps engineer, DevSecOps engineer, just some random number. Okay. Done. This is how it should look like. And if you have your LinkedIn profile, add it LinkedIn. And then your GitHub profile, add your link. And if you answer questions on Stack Overflow, add them as well. Okay. Again, I'll share this resume to you. So you should have solid mention. And if you have done any certifications, just add them here as well. Okay. That's one thing. And seeking a challenging DevOps role, just say DevSecOps role, where I can leverage my, okay, for example, you have 6 years of experience to do these things, and mention what all tools that you are aware. So in our tool, in our tech stack, what all are we aware? Okay, done. So what all tools that we are aware? So let's try to mention operating systems. We are quite aware of Red Hat Linux. Okay, Red Hat Linux, CentOS, Ubuntu, Windows. Okay, so version control systems, just mention GitHub. Okay, and what is the other one? GitLab. Both of them are same. And the build tools in our training, we worked on Maven, Node.js, Golang. Okay, Golang. Okay, so build tools, just say Maven, and what is the other one? What is build tools? 1 second. Maven Gradle, yeah. Maven Gradle. So continuous integration tools. So Jenkins, we didn't have an opportunity. We worked on GitHub Actions, but pretty much they are the same. Okay. GitHub Actions and GitHub Actions and GitLab CI/CD also works the same way. Okay, and I'll also offer you guys Jenkins recorded sessions. If you are interested, you can go through, and it is also widely used. Next, in the configuration management tools, you worked on Ansible extensively. In the monitoring tools, okay, you worked on Prometheus, Grafana, okay, and OpenSearch. We also worked on New Relic. Okay, New Relic, it's it's a, as mentioned, application performance tool, APMs. Okay, application performance monitoring tool. Again, indentations correct at the end. You got an opportunity to work on New Relic. Okay, if you know Dynatrace, add it. But pretty much they are the same. And it's always better you learn one more cloud. In the industry, Google Cloud is also one of the most happening thing. Just learn this cloud, okay? But we learn DevOps. We can apply it anywhere. Learn Google Cloud. It's widely used, by the way. Okay. Bash scripting, Bash or Shell. Use the keywords as much as possible. Bash or shell scripting. Again, if interviewer is a smart guy and if he wants to ask you, oh, Bash and shell are same, right? Why are you mentioning both? Okay, you should have an answer for it. Okay, so infrastructure as a code. Okay, you use the Terraform. In the containerization space, you worked on Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, secret management. Okay, you can mention HashiCorp Vault. And CD tools. Okay, what all CD tools have you worked on? You worked on OCD and Argo CD. Okay, so in the CI/CD framework, okay, CI framework, you can mention it have actions and operating systems. Okay, did we miss anything? And if you are working somewhere, and you also need to mention that. Okay, just mention wherever you are working. Again, just correct the indentations. Okay, so resume is something. It's not just I'll give you something, you'll just copy paste. No, you need to spend some time. Okay, on the indentations and all these things. Second. professional experience. Okay, just mention Palo Alto Development Center, Bangalore, something like that. Okay, so just mention what all you have worked on. Okay, work with shell scripting languages. Okay, so maybe you can mention implemented automation, okay, using bash. Okay, using bash scripting. Okay, next, authored multiple and developed multiple Ansible playbooks. Okay, don't just say working on. Okay, you can say implemented. Okay, implemented multiple workflows using GitHub Actions. Okay, containerizing the applications with the Docker, responsible for managing the Docker private registry. Okay, we implemented Docker to set up local development environment. So created Docker files and build images, not build, and built images and published to, okay, and pushed and published to Docker registry. Okay, and this is not really needed. Okay, placed a strategy to build, okay, less weight, low weight containers. Oh. Done. Next. Done. Now you can also mention, okay, okay, enabled CI/CD framework using GitHub Actions. Okay. Again, indentations, you take care. What else have we made? So we learned this one as well, right? Built container, implement, enabled integration, enabled EKS to Vault integration using, okay, init containers. Okay, next, we also worked on, okay, okay, developed Helm chats, okay, to reduce the repetitive code and integrated Argo CD to enable continuous delivery. Okay. Next. These spaces and all I'll correct later. Next, what else? Okay. Provisioned and maintained infrastructure using HashiCorp Terraform. Okay. Worked and designed Terraform, okay, using modules to keep code dry. Okay. Okay. Next. What else? Implemented key member in provisioning and maintaining EKS. Okay, monitored, build, continuous integration to ensure, okay, perform, build and release, okay. Setup, application done. Next, let's also add this point. Enabled continuous security by integrating Sonar Cube and checkmark scan. SCA, SAST, and DAST as a part of the pipeline. Okay, done. Active member, we're tuning the deployment application from the benchmarking results. By aligning to, okay, by aligning to benchmarking results. Integrated New Relic APM to EKS and server-based apps. What else? Provisioned Grafana dashboards to capture the error rate, saturation, okay, error rate, saturation, traffic and traffic rate. Okay. Okay. Then enabled connectivity to Vault by init containers. Okay. Implemented RBAC or role-based access control on EKS. Okay. What else have we done? Next. That's it. Next. Actively maintaining a e-commerce based application on EKS with 40 microservices and 4 databases running on AWS cloud. Okay, so let's try to take this and ask ChatGPT to refine. Okay, ChatGPT, refine these points and share me that looks professional for my resume. One more point. Okay, key member in designing and achieving cost saving of EC2 infra up to 70% by using node pools with reserved and spot instances. Okay, So this is gonna give us some points. So let's try to get this. Then take these points. Okay. Clear this. Okay, this should have most of it. Next. Any company that you worked on, okay? Don't just bluff, okay? Always always mention what you did, okay? Interview is not just about, okay, telling they just want to ask what they want, okay? If you want to be hired in a good company, the person who hires knows what to ask, okay? So you just always need to align to that, okay? Keep this point. And always maintain standard sizing, professional experience. Done. Spacing. And also, this also just add it as per your own. And at the same time, once you're done, okay, even before this, just in the top of this, also make sure you add one more point. Again, I'll share you 2 to 3 resumes. Okay, I just want to build something in front of you guys, okay? Second thing, even before this, try to mention your achievements, okay? Achievements. What are the achievements, okay? Played a critical role in optimizing the EC2 billing to 70% by adopting 70-30 spot end. Okay, on EKS. 11 is the right size. Okay, done. And next. Okay. Key member in reducing the vulnerability count. Okay, by mitigating SCA and Sonar Cube identified entities. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, so you are the one designed and integrated AWS infra and enabled DevSecOps strategy. And no secret. Okay, and you also did one very big thing. Okay, designed and implemented cloud DNS on AWS EKS for automatic provisioning and update of DNS records on Route 53 from Ingress Resources. Yes. This was achieved by using init containers. Okay, you are the one who authored this. Okay, next. Created Google's suggested Google SRE golden signals. Which were widely used as a performance monitor by majority of the team in the org. We also did one more thing. What else? What else? Yeah. Enabled continuous deployments using Argo CD with the principles of continuous reconnaissance and continuous reconciliation. Okay, write these achievements in a professional tone for resume. Copy this. That's all. Again, just indent the code. Okay. Indentation is very important. Again, as I mentioned, take this as a reference. And if you're not strong on certain topics that you haven't learned, don't just mention. Okay. If you're not confident on, what do you call? If you're not confident on Argo CD, there is no point in you mentioning it. Okay, it's just like giving an opportunity to others to flaunt you. Okay, never do that. Okay, so like this, you need to mention. So if you mention these tools, tech stack, everything that you have worked, this enables your quality of work. Okay, and the chances of you getting the calls. All right. Next. Again, I'll spend some time to refine it. Okay, so if you have any other company that also you mention, and then just at the bottom mention your education, and that's it. Don't keep your resume more than 3 points. Okay, and your LinkedIn profile and GitHub profile are very, 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 very important. Okay, so if you don't mention this, it's very unlikely you get calls. All right, and don't use too many colors, just black color. Okay, this is how it will work. Clear? And one of the most commonly asked question, these two questions will decide your time. Okay, very first question. Okay, 3 questions that plays a critical role in selection or rejection, and this enables your credibility. What are these 3? Tell me about yourself. Okay, tell me about yourself. And next, what are your day-to-day activities? Okay, tell me about yourself. What are your day-to-day activities? Okay, and next, explain me about your project. See, based on what you have answered here, okay, the position that you are applying, okay, they can easily identify whether you are apt or not. Okay, when someone asks you, when I'm taking someone's interview, if I ask you, hey, tell me, thanks for joining the interview, would like to know some intricate details, or would like to know interesting details about you, you should never say, this is a bad way of saying, okay, my name is this, and I'm working in this company from these many times, and I like playing cricket, and I worked on this project, and this is my 5th job, and I'm very much interested about this job. No, don't say that. Okay. For example, if my name is not, if someone asks me, okay, and this is the position that I'm applying for, DevSecOps. Okay. For example, DevSecOps leader, mid-level engineer. If someone asks me, tell me about yourself, you need to say, hey, my name is Mike. I total have 8 years of experience. Currently, I'm working with a company called as a Palo Alto. So it's been 2.5 years that I'm working with this company, where I was majorly responsible for managing the AWS cloud and DevSecOps infrastructure. And I was a key member in playing the role of DevSecOps lead. And I was managing a team of 6, where we are supporting 2 to 3 teams. And majority of the infrastructure that I am working on is AWS cloud. So I'm pretty much sound on AWS. And I like automating and keeping this automation skill set into mind. I also got an opportunity to implement a lot of automations using Ansible Bash scripting. So I'm someone who is keen to learn from someone if I don't know something, and at the same time, people always ask me, or I'll be the first person people who come and ask me if others don't know. So I'm a very good player who is ready to absorb, and who is ready to learn, and who is ready to contribute to the company. And that's something about my professional, if you want to know about me, and if you want to know something as a outside of work, what you do. I like to spend time with my family. I have a dog. I like to watch movies. And at the same time, I like to watch YouTube, and YouTube plays a very healthy way in my life in making my tech stack up to the date. If I like Google Cloud, though I work majorly on AWS Cloud. So their YouTube channel, and whatever the tech stack that I want to know, I subscribe to the channel. So I always keep watching the latest updates. That keeps me up to the date. So this is the high level introduction about myself. So here you're saying you're a DevSecOps lead, you know automation, you're leading a team of 6 to 7 engineers, and you're a good team player. And at the same time, people are very much interested to ask you something. And it also tells you that you're ready to go and ask someone if you don't know something. It shows that you're a good team player, and you worked really good in the team. Okay? Clear? Any questions on this? Mridula, Darshan, Ambit? Any questions on this? This is very, 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 very important. Next question. Okay. What are your day-to-day activities? Based on the answer that you have given, for example, if someone is trying to hire for an 8 years position, okay, and this is a very bad way of saying, okay, this position is for 8 years experienced engineer, and you have 6 to 8 years of experience, and you have applied for this role. What is the bad way of answering? Okay, what are your day-to-day activities in the current project? If you say my day-to-day activities are, if servers shutdowns, I'll go and start. And if someone asks, if need some help, I'll go and help. And I write the Terraform pipelines, and I write the GitHub actions. No, this is a very bad way of answering. Okay. What is a good way of answering? What are your day-to-day activities? You need to say, 80% of my day-to-day 70% of my, okay, here is how you need to answer. Okay, be confident. I work in an agile-based environment with a sprint timeline of 15 days, or 2 weeks, or 2 weeks of time, where 70% of my day-to-day activity is planned in advance as a part of the sprint planning, and 20 to 30% of the work is from the support, which comes as an ad hoc request. So I deliver both ad hoc requests, and at the same time, I'm also responsible for delivering the sprint deliverables. As I'm working as a DevSecOps engineer, I pretty much closely work with the developers and the performance testing team. My day-to-day activities includes always there is a gap for improvement. So we work towards the improvement. And as a part of that, my current project is a microservices based project where we are actively doing the deployments. So as a part of the deployments at this point of time, I was being asked to develop the Helm charts to keep the code dry. So I'm actually working on writing Helm charts on the top of as a part of the deployment. So I'm actually working on writing the Helm charts. Also, my project also has certain sort of infrastructure on the top of EC2 instances. Certain applications are running on it. So I was also a key member in automating the areas of improvement. So since I have extensive experience on Ansible playbook, so I'm trying to observe the areas where things are happening manually and try to write Ansible playbooks. Majority of the infrastructure is on AWS cloud as a part of this project. So 99% of the infrastructure that we provisioned is on Terraform. So I write Terraform code, Terraform modules extensively. Whenever Terraform releases any new modules, whenever new versions comes up, so I try to update. So as a part of this automation, there are majority of the times where pipelines will fail. Whenever any pipeline fail as a part of the infrastructure or continuous integration, I go and check and try to see what is the reason. I'll try to fix, and at the same time, I make sure what is the reason for it, and I'll try to optimize it by giving a fix rather than just a workaround. And every project needs observability. So I was also a key member in creating Grafana dashboards. So we are aggregating logs on the top of OpenSearch. All our microservices logs are lying on the top of OpenSearch. I enabled. I'm a key member in integrating the connectivity between EKS2 OpenSearch. All the logs of my containers running on the top of Kubernetes are shipping their logs to OpenSearch. So I also provisioned Kibana dashboards that's giving saturation traffic network rate on the top of the dashboard using these metrics. I was a key member in that. And you also can mention that I'm working on one of the greenfield based project where applications are running on the top of on-prem where we are containerizing it. And majority of the applications are Spring Boot based. So we are containerizing the applications by using Docker, and the target is to deploy them on the top of EKS. I'm an active member of it. So I work towards the sprint goals, and I'm a mid-level engineer, or if it is a lead position, I'm leading a team of 2 to 3 engineers. So I'm also responsible to enable them if my team members have any blockers. And if I'm not able to mitigate something, I'll speak to my onshore folks to get that particular subject unblocked. Okay, this is how you need to answer. Okay, you are not just saying, I'll just do what my teammates say. You're saying you are being a part of the agile and you are going to deliver the task based on what they have mentioned. This says you're not just someone who contribute based on what someone says. Clear? And explain me about your project. This is a very important thing. Never ever reveal the internal details of the project you're working on. That's a very bad thing. Okay, so never ever say that. Always try to speak in high level. If someone asks you or explain me about your project, here is how you need to say. Don't just 100% of my infrastructure is an AWS cloud. We don't have anything outside of it. No, don't say that. Okay, since we have worked on commerce-based application, you can say that right now I'm working in this company, and this company offers a B2C or B2B solutions. Majority of the B2B solutions are commerce-based applications where end user customers and business clients can connect to our product and they can buy the products from our website. So majority of the applications are running on the top of Kubernetes as a containerized infrastructure. So we have 40 to 50 microservices that are of type Python based and Spring Boot based, which are where the stateful workloads are hosting on the top of MySQL and DocumentDB. So, and we also have Redis, which is caching the solution, and we are exposing our application using Imperva. Imperva is a firewall where you're exposing your application using Imperva. You also have Nginx ingress controller on the top of your EKS. Along with that, you can mention 80% of my workloads are running on the top of EKS. Rest of the 20 to 30% of the infrastructure is either on compute on the top of the servers, or 20 to 30% of our infrastructure is on the top of on-prem. So we have enabled the connectivity between the on-prem to AWS by using Direct Connect. So we have a connectivity, we have an agreement with AWS for the AWS Direct Connect. So they have, which offers 200 gigs per second. And this project, the deployments are happening through continuous deployment by using Argo CD and continuous integration, the image delivery process, the Sonar Cube code quality analysis, software composition analysis, SAST, and the continuous build. Everything is being written by using workflows, and we have developed our pipelines by using GitHub Actions. And for each and every type of metric, for each and every type of workload, like Python-based workload, Java-based workload, and Go-based workload, we have 3 different runners based on the tag. Each and every continuous integration is going to make the build on the top of the particular runner. And we are also using ECR, Elastic Container Registry, which is an Artifactory to host our containerized workloads. And all our secrets are hosted on the top of HashiCorp Vault. And we also made our own container, init container that has the capability to go and talk to HashiCorp Vault to fetch the secrets. And this init container is creating the secret for the main container that contains both the secrets and the configuration or the environment variables. So this is the high level or the intricate details of my project where I'm working on, where I'm actively contributing the infrastructure provisioning, continuous integration development, and continuous monitoring. And I'm also responsible for mitigating the security issues flagged by the security team. So this is about my project and my job. Here is how you need to answer. Okay. If you don't answer these 3 questions well, the next level of questions will be trying to eliminate you. Okay, if you answer these 3 questions well, people will try to ask you the questions in a tone they want to select you and absorb you into the project. And if you haven't answered these questions 3 well, next 15 to 20 minutes will be, they'll try to ask you the questions with an intent where they don't want you to answer so that they can reject you. Okay, so first 15 minutes of your interview is very, 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 very important. If you fail in the first 15 minutes, that means rest of the 15 to 30 minutes would be just waste of time. So always when you're ready with the content, make sure you answer, tell me yourself, what are your day-to-day activities? Explain me about your project, look into your mirror and try to answer. Don't fake, okay? If you don't know something, just say, I haven't got an opportunity to work. Given an opportunity, I can work. That's how you need to mention. You can also give an example saying that in my previous project before I came to this company, I don't know Argo CD, but here my manager has given me the task to implement Argo CD. So I learned Argo CD and I'm a key member in implementing Argo CD. Not just that, I also implemented the job creation on Argo CD by using Argo CD CLI. That's how you need to mention. Clear? Is this clear, guys? Okay, don't just believe, okay, what is deployment? What is config map? Those days are gone. We did a lot. We did a lot, by the way. Okay. Any questions so far?
Sir, Mahendra here, sir. So, in case like if you are not a DevSecOps lead level engineer or below level, this how we can answer, sir, for the same.
Like if you want to say that you are 2 years experience engineer?
Yes, yes, sir. 3+ like that, 3 or 4.
See, it's not just based on number of years of experience. Okay, you can also say, though I am a 3 years experience engineer, I'm also helping one of the engineer who is a freshman in the company. So I was also helping him, though I'm not a lead. So that shows, that demonstrates my leadership quality. Okay, so don't just say, okay, don't think in a 2 years experience when answer. Just try to answer in a way that you know that you are helping. Okay. And for clear, Mahi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And also, if you look at this, whenever we are learning something, we are documenting everything. Okay. This is the Learn Kubernetes repository. So these are the things we learned. What is kube control? Okay. Kubernetes. Okay. We are using the manager service. And what is kube control, what is an API, what are the controllers, okay, how to get the resources, how to get the information of the cluster, how to dump the API. And we also learned how to upgrade from one version to another version of Kubernetes, and what is the kube context file, what is a namespace in Kubernetes, API resources, we learned, right? We also learned something on the top of Minikube, right? And then what is a manifest file, and what is Minikube is also something we learned. Okay, so deployment set, replica sets, so daemon sets, we learned. And we also learned how to inject the secrets and what is an empty directory. Okay, we also learned different types of services. Okay, if you want to expose more than 10 services, how are you going to do? And if you want to create a small name for a bigger name, which can be accessible inside the Kubernetes. We learned using external services, right? And we also created ingress. We converted the unstructured logs to structured logs. We learned what is a structured log. Okay, we used grok expressions. We learned what is a quota. We learned what is probe. Okay, what is a managed service? Okay, what are the limits requests? Benchmarking. Okay, what is a public cluster, private cluster, and public and private cluster? Okay, what is a networking solution offered on the top of Kubernetes? Okay, so if you see this, it's almost 800 to 900 pages. Okay, we learned, okay, what is chains, tolerations, node selectors, pod affinity, pod anti-affinity, topology constraints, okay, pod priority, preemptions. All right. And we also, taints and tolerations are widely asked, though it's not used in the organizations. It's widely used. Please try to prepare it this. Okay. How to drain the node. All right. So everything is being written here. Okay. Don't just believe in the questions. Okay. Learn the context. If you learn the context, you can answer anything. Okay. If you see this, we have mentioned everything. All right. Clear? Clear? Is this helpful? And also one more thing. Once you are confident enough with the content, you can schedule some time to have a mock interview. Okay, so that I can help you understand the areas of improvement, where are the gaps, so that you can start giving the better. Okay, everyone, by tomorrow, you guys should be receiving a stack of interview questions along with the resumes. Please prepare and start giving the interviews. All right, and that's it. And yeah, any questions, anyone? Sridevi?
Sir, in case like if someone is asking Jenkins level, then how we can, sir, like the same way we can give the,
Jenkins is
or
just
we
a
can
tool.
go for,
It's just a tool.
okay.
It's just a tool. If you want to say that I worked on GitHub Actions, you can mention. If you want to learn Jenkins, I can share the resources. Okay. In the previous batch, we covered Jenkins. I can share that as well to you if you want. And as a part of this training, I'll also share you some recorded sessions of my previous batch of the Jenkins. If you're interested, spend 1 week of time, you can get mastery on it.
Sure.
Clear?
Thank you, sir.
Any questions, anyone? Ambit, Darshan, Kirisha, Mahendra, Rudula, Rachit, Shailaja, Lata, Sridevi, Arun. Hope you have gained some valuable insights out of this last 5 months of training. And I want to say, again, it's not a goodbye. You're always welcome to connect. Okay. You'll receive an email. Please share your thoughts. Okay. You'll also receive an email to provide the feedback on the training and the content. Please do share your feedback. That really helps us grow. Okay. And at the same time, you'll also receive an email with a resume, 2 to 3 resumes along with some interview questions. Okay. And feel free to schedule some time to talk to me, to have a mock interviews so that I can share some insights. And once you prepare your resume, make sure to get it reviewed by me before you start your marketing. Okay. That's it. And again, it's not a goodbye. I wish you all the very best. All right, guys. Thank you. Signing off.
Thank you, Manoj. Thanks a lot.